Hello everybody, I'm Alfred, and the video we're about to watch is the trailer for the video game. It's basically titled Kingdom Hearts 4 and Kingdom Hearts 20th Anniversary Official Announcement Trailer. So let's check it out. This is looking like a Nintendo DS game, these graphics that we are seeing now. And as you may have suspected, I'm not feeling it. The use of magic and all that, and of course that is something that goes without saying. It's in a lot of video games and in the Kingdom Hearts series. But you see, these kinds of things desensitizes people to magic and witchcraft and exposes people to being more embracing of these things. Keep in mind that there are a lot of books and a lot of groups for witches and wizards that are all over the place in some of your kids' schools and in places where you least expect it. Even some websites of movies, like Harry Potter fan sites, they have witchcraft communities where there are actual witches and there are people who cast spells and people who dedicate themselves to demon spirits and expose themselves to demon spirits and occult practices. And that is very dangerous, because those are cults, and satanic cults at that. So it is very important for Christians to be at the head of making Christian entertainment when it comes to movies, video games, and all this. We must do this. As a matter of fact, we should occupy everything. The political world, the business world, the entertainment world. Be the ones that are calling the shots. Because if we are not, then who is there? People who have no relationship with God, people who cannot see through the eyes of truth, because God's word is truth. So if you do not have God's word, you are seeing things through a distorted glass. You are seeing things in a way that is full of deception and that the devil is probably already using to work against you, to work to your disadvantage. And you may be advancing, but you are advancing in a way that will probably, not only is it against in a pathway that could be varying you away further and further away, surely it will be varying further away from the will of God, but it could be also leading you not just to a destination of ultimate destruction, but a pathway where you would have to destroy a lot of people or do a lot of things that you may not see, but will cause ripple effects that destroy so many people's lives and futures and destinies. But you may think that that is just life, and you may not even see that you're going in that direction without God. It's why things are happening that way. For example, let's say that you are not walking in the will of God and you want to travel from let's say New Jersey to California, and the routes that you are taking, perhaps you want to have a road trip. The route that you are taking ends up, where you end up getting mugged or something, and you defend yourself and end up killing someone. If you were working at the perfect will of God, there is a strong possibility that would have never happened. You could have probably seen an opportunity that you would have had a flight, or you would have, on that day that you have following that route and you are going on that road trip, you will just not happen to encounter that kind of disaster. Anyway, let's get back to the trailer. Sorry, let me just fast forward this. Let me search for, let me see if there's something cooler looking graphic wise that I can see. Okay, let me see.
光と闇から生まれた
This is much better graphic wise.
始まりは心によって育まれた。命は脈々と受け継がれ、時が流れ。
The animation, you know, the motion capture is they use something that was basically inbuilt. You know, you could see that the walking is not natural. It's like they used an inbuilt animation sequence and attached it to the character. You know, that was, you know, inbuilt into whatever game engine that they used to make the game. But you know, even that, you know, they should have much more better mocap motions for the characters, you know, if it is mocap they use for this. And I'm talking about this walking sequence. You can see how fake it is.
命は脈々と受け継がれ、
Doesn't look
時が流れ。
realistic.
やがて世界となった大地は人々の暮らしを作り上げた。ここは光と闇、継ぐものと継がざる。
This character is clearly inspired by Napoleon. You can see the dress and the hat, the Napoleon hat.
夢と歪みを持った多層都市スカラアド・カエルム。子はやがて衆となり結社を組織した。継ぐ者の結社、継がざる者の結社。いくつもの衆は都市をめぐる血脈のようにこの世界に張り巡らされていた。
Okay, so we have seen things like this typical Kingdom Hearts stuff, and you know, of course, this game franchise was bought by Disney, you know, so it's owned by Disney, and I'm sure that many of you must have heard about Disney and, you know, its push for sexualizing children, you know, and pushing transgender stuff and gay stuff, LGBT. You know, they have made up their minds that, you know, they must make sure that over 50% of the characters in their company are gay, you know, LGBTQIA, whatever, you know, those crazy stuff that those people like to say. So we must be the ones who start companies, you know, who make sure that we are running things and, you know, changing the rhetoric, you know, really transforming the entertainment industry, you know, for the gospel. Because if we do not, this nonsense will continue. You know, imagine the power and the reach that Disney has, all the characters that they own, you know, classic characters, you know, and I believe they also own Marvel, so that's Spider-Man and all that. So imagine all these things pushing gay and non-Christian agenda. So imagine the damage that it's going to do to the world, to the youth, to young minds. You know, it is no mystery why, you know, now there are more people who identify as LGBTQ and into all that gay stuff than there was in the 50s and 30s. You know, majority of human existence, you know, there have not been this great explosion of homosexuality. You know, that is a fact. You know, Sodom and Gomorrah only lasted for, you know, like a very brief period, a few years before it was destroyed, and every other subsequent civilization that tried to embrace it, you know, any city, they were destroyed, you know. And of course, where we are coming from, when you look at the early years, when you look at things like the Dark Ages and before that, you know, in that era there was a lot of conquering and conquest. So homosexuality was not something that favored the continuation in any stretch of any civilization. Everyone frowned upon it, you know, because effeminate men means that you'll be very easy to conquer, you know, and very easy for an opposing army to just come and destroy, you know, and then take all the women as booty, you know, and take, you know, take all the gold and all the treasures that the people have. So that is one thing that you have to take note of, so make sure that you are somebody who is doing everything that you possibly can to be a part of, not just hoping or protesting or tweeting to companies like this, because these companies have made up their mind. They are familiar with, and they have their supporters, and they will try to make you a supporter, and try to demonize you if you do not support. Oh, you are homophobic and transphobic and all that nonsense. That is all a trick. Don't mind anybody that calls you all those names. We should start coming up with names for those kinds of people. When they come up with names for us like homophobic and transphobic, you should come up with our own names, like anti-human, like pedophile, which is basically what they are. We should come up with our own terms, like unpatriotic, which is basically what they are. We come up with our own names, like people who are seeking the destruction of civilization, because that is basically what they are doing. So note that at Alfred.vip, you can reach out to us if you like to be a part of what we plan to do to take over the entertainment industry, because we have to do everything that is necessary to take over the entertainment industry, and it is important that you're a part of it. If you perhaps want to start your own movie company, video game company, whatever, just take the first step. When you take the first step, you see that you can take another and another and another. Those are the steps of it, so get to it. That being said, also know that if you haven't given your life to Christ, you can go to Alfred.vip, click the salvation prayer link in the main menu, and do that. The page will come out that has the prayer of salvation. Say that prayer telling God you want to give your life to Christ and begin your walk with God. And then also, note that there is a salvation prayer link in the description below. Of course, we've seen this trailer before. This is a second loop. So what I'll do right now is, let's close out with one of my songs. This is I'm on my parole. It's available on all streaming platforms. Let's check it out. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun.
I'm on my parole. I'm on my parole. I'm on my parole. I'm on my parole. I'm on my musical parole. You can tell by the class, nobody mustachio. Old fashioned down to the toes. The shoes always clean just like a mirror. We'll see a speck of dust no matter how far I go. We'll see a tread out of place in the military inspection. Or there I go bragging. Oh no, but it's known I'm the most humble man in the world. I spread respect yourself. What you spread is what you get. Give your best, you get the best. Dress your best and people see the best. I'm on my parole. I'm on my parole. I'm on my parole. I'm on my parole. Parole with a suit, parole with the swag, parole with a can, parole with the stash, parole with a hat, parole with the class, parole with a stash, parole with the fat. I'm on my parole. I'm on my parole. I'm on my parole. I'm on my parole. Families don't get my culture. The one my mustache and shivery gun. Talk about counterintuitive cause they think I'm sexist for holding open the door. I'm someone saying she's not strong enough to open the door. I guess that's sure. What sons were doing when they heard open the king's door. But leave it to a feminist to still see oppression. I still pull out chairs, still for ladies first. I still hold us, still have any post well. Still don't let feminists make me change myself. Still gon' parole even if no one else cares. I'm on my parole. I'm on my parole. I'm on my parole. I'm on my parole. Parole with a suit, parole with the swag, parole with a can, parole with the stash, parole with a hat, parole with the class, parole with a stash, parole with the fat. I'm on my parole. I'm on my parole. I'm on my parole. I'm on my parole with a suit, parole.
So, hope you enjoyed that. Have a nice day.